Bugs Bunny Elbow, hello. Pin comment. There we go. So now people are going to know what I'm talking about. Okay. Yay, this seems to be a good time for people. Got people showing up. Hello. It's so fun seeing all you guys, especially some of you who I have been chatting with on our Instagram posts and etc. You know, I'm trying to figure out, it's a lot easier for me to read if I do this, but I get such crazy glare. Okay. Alright, I'm going to try and do this because I have a question about hair, skin, and nails. Hey, so you know what? I had a couple of prepared things from Ask Anna, and I took Andrew, my eldest son, to get his wisdom teeth pulled, all four, and that took a little bit longer than I thought, so I'm not really prepared for this one, but that's okay because you guys asked me questions and I could probably talk for 4 hours and then I'd lose my voice and all those kind of things. So so you have a question about hair, skin, and nails biotin. Go ahead, ask the question. Oh, there it is. Is it safe to take? Yeah, absolutely. The only thing with that I've heard is with straight biotin, that's not in a hair, nails, skin formula, is that for some people just straight biotin causes acne. My apologies for the lawnmower, but we have a boat ton of lawn that has to be mowed, so I'm grateful that we have someone's going to help with that. Pretty soon my boys are going to be helping since it's summer break now. So yeah, biotin is completely safe. Just if you find that as you're taking it that you're breaking out more, then switch to a hair, skin, nails formula, because that has other ingredients that, I don't know, works better with the body, doesn't necessarily cause as much acne, if any. Hopefully. I hope I answered that. Faith, happy birthday, or Mackenzie Faith. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I'm not going to sing the whole song, but there you go. Yeah, I got a little bit of a voice. I love singing. Oh, you guys love the classes. Thanks. Oh, Bugs Bunny Elbow, yay, you're back. I missed your live last stream. That's quite all right. And I covered some other things that I haven't normally covered. So that should be up in about a week, and you'll have direct links to hop to the part that you want to get to. Okay. Ooh, IBX. Somebody, Hoop Bunny 53, asks me, what do I think of IBX nail treatments? I actually was kind of skeptical until Doug Schoon, author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry, voted that as his best, most innovative new product of the year last year. So and he's the nail scientist. He's been doing this for 30 years. And what's interesting is that the man who owns the company, they do Daddy Oil as well, DADI, Famous Names, I think that's the name of the company. He worked with Doug Schoon when they both worked at C&D, Creative Nail Design, and the guy who creates the IBX system and Daddy Oil, he was the creator of Solar Oil that C&D owns. And so he has moved on. I think they worked there for 15, 16 years. Anyway, so that's how they know each other. But everything that I hear, fantastic. It's pretty pricey. I think there's a lot of other strategies that can be tried first before needing to go to that. But I do know that especially for the salon industry, when people come in with such damaged nails and really thin nails, and they're combating what happens with salon products and trying to increase the strength and the thickness of nails and stuff, definitely it sounds like it's working. So I've never tried it personally, but that's okay. Is it safe to apply sorry, can't read these as well. Is it safe to apply nail polish to toenails? Yeah, absolutely. It's also safe to apply it to fingernails. Um, yeah, polish is one of those things that so many people have a phobia about. And there's this whole thing about, you know, you need to let your nails breathe and you should go on breaks without wearing polish. That actually is the most dangerous thing you could do, because our nails absorb 1/3 their weight in water. And so I didn't talk about this last time, but especially for those of you who are new. So if you, this is my book, if you imagine, let's just take a perfect book with all of its pages laying nicely, and they're all nice and flat. But then that book, you drop it in the water and you pull the book back out, and yes, it will dry, but you'll never ever get those layers, those pages flat again. Our nails are very, very similar. It certainly takes more than one exposure for our nails to start, the layers to start getting pushed apart, but water is constantly doing that. And so what nail polish does is it actually helps seal in our nail cells and nail layers and helps prevent that water absorption. Does it prevent it 100%? No, but it certainly slows it way down. If you're going to be swimming for 2 hours, water's going to get in there no matter what, because it's going to get in through the side walls, and it's going to get in from the hyponychium on this side. It's just, water's called the universal solvent. It just goes everywhere. And you know, whatever percentage our body weight is, or our body in water, I don't remember the percentage at the moment, somebody will tell me. Anyway, considering that we're predominantly water, so yes, totally safe to apply to toenails. The only caveat that I will have put with polish on your toenails is if you have a toenail fungus. And toenail fungus is, it's easily contagious, it's easily spreadable. So, and what toenail fungus is, it's this fungus that gets in, and its food source is your nail cells. And so it just gradually over time starts to dissolve your nail cells and turn them to powder. And so that your toenails will get thicker, and they'll start to get crumbly. A lot of times we see it's pretty much just about every old man you know. If you've seen his toenails, and they look all thick and yellow and crumbly, they're covered with toenail fungus. It's just completely all the way. So fungus likes to grow in a moist, dark environment. So for those of us who live in colder environments and we have our feet in shoes, closed-toed shoes all the time, and socks, it can be a big issue for us. And then for those of us, you know, like for me, I can only wear flip-flops a couple of months out of the year. So for me, it's an issue also, and I've been working on it. So I can't wear toenail polish right now, because what does putting a darker color, even just kind of a lighter color, what that does is it makes that darker environment. So your feet may not be as moist, but you've created this nice dark environment for the fungus to grow. And a lot of times because I've been battling it for 20 years on and off, and I've tried different strategies. I've taken the medication that is for your, where they have to check your liver like every week, because that internal medication can kill your liver. Took that one, it worked fine, and then it came back in like 4 or 5 years. So I've tried the nail polish strategy, there's certain medicated polishes. Anyway, I could go on and on, but if you're dealing with that, I would not recommend painting your toenails with polish. I would keep them. And you know what? It's weird, but our toenails have 50% more layers than our fingernails. And, you know, there's those memes going around that you can polish your nails and the next day they're all chipped on your fingernails. But you polish your toenails and it lasts for 150 years Um, because if you think about it, we're not grabbing and scratching and digging and doing all of these things with our toes that we do with our fingers. So that's why polish lasts so long on our toenails. Um, let's see. Okay, you know what? I'm starting to see some crappy stuff. So let's see. Let me give you some housekeeping rules. If you have nothing nice to say, go away. You're not welcome here. And I'm pretty sure that there will be some of my fans and followers who will report you. I don't have time to follow you or to block you because I'm too busy answering important questions. Okay, I'm tired and I'm cranky. And what the biggest thing for those of you who want to be here is that I am, my name is Anna, and I am the author of over 80 articles at nailcarehq.com, and I am also the owner of Bliss Kiss. We offer skin and nail care solutions. I am not here to sell you anything. I am here to answer all of your nail care, nail polish. You can ask about me too, but I'm here to give you truthful information about nail care. And I am fully supported by my mentor, Doug Schoon, the author of Nail Structure and Product Chemistry. And I've been studying him for 5 years. I've been writing almost weekly. I am obsessed with nails. It's a strange thing. Who knew I would be so inquisitive and find it so fun to say proximal fold of the eponychium. But anyway, so that's who I am and what I'm doing, and ask away. Ask your burning questions. Also, let's try and keep this PGG rated. No swearing, please. As many of you know, I do not like swearing in my account. I don't think it's necessary. I myself will use curse words, but not in my account. Do we ever give giveaways? Megan, fantastic question. Yes, 3 times a week. And we give away 3 pens on Mondays and Fridays. Oh, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Wednesdays is 3 Simply Peel, our latex barrier product. So definitely look for those. We also have the contest happening over on Facebook, on our Facebook account as well. So yeah, just follow all of the instructions in the first comment, and good luck. Okay. Hi everybody. Fixing a nail break. Can you use super glue if you don't have any nail glue on hand? Absolutely. Here's why I buy, like when I go to Sally's, I'll buy, and I don't have my little bottle. I'm starting to create my little collection box here of all of my little props because you guys ask me such great questions. Anyway, I like buy the nail, it's called a gel resin. It has nothing to do with gel product. What it is basically a thick super glue. And I like it. Every time I go to Sally's, I pick up 2 or 3 more bottles. They're like $3. You can get them on Amazon. And I have the kind that I like is on nailcarehq.com. If you Google that and first aid kit, it shows the nail glue that I like to use. So yes, to answer your question, Courtney, you can use super glue, but it's really, really liquid, and so it's gonna go everywhere, and you know, it glues everything, so it's gonna glue all your skin to your nails. That's why I like the thicker gel kind. And it is a gel resin, which just means that it's made goopier. Wow, I got some technical terminology going on here. Oh, somebody said I have to go, it's 1 a.m. and thanks for answering your question. You're very welcome. I recently took off my acrylics and my nails are now terrible. They're so thin, and what can I do to make them better? That's an excellent question. There's a few things. One is make sure that you're using a high quality jojoba wax ester based nail oil, like our Bliss Kiss Simply Pure Hydrating Oil. That's gonna really help glue the little bit of layers that you've got. Basically, it works like sticky glue, and it penetrates into those layers and it glues them back together. Also, you are going to want to wear at least 5 layers of polish. The more the better. Because what you're most likely, if you're saying your nails are horrible, it's because your nail tech actually probably filed down about 50% of your nail plate, which is not necessary anymore. Product chemistry has advanced in the last 10-15 years significantly, where all they really need to do is just kind of buff off that shine. They should not be grinding down your nail plate. So what you're going to need to do is those 2 strategies. And you can also go to nailcarehq.com and learn more about that. And so but the biggest thing is be very, very patient with yourself. It's going to take 2 to 6 months for all of that damage to grow out. And unfortunately, they're going to want to break by just looking at them. So just be patient with yourself. And if it was me, I would keep them short for the next 6 months until you're starting to see that thickness, and you'll actually be able to see that line as it's growing out and you're filing it down. You'll be able to see that curved line where they've like gouged in and taken half of your nail plate. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Bugs Bunny, my nail oil pen just came in this morning and you already love it. I know, I tell ya, it's some good stuff. Microwave mustache, I love our chapstick, which is not chapstick, but because chapstick is a brand, but is lip, it's like, gosh, for those of us, I'm dating myself. Remember when, so there's a couple of brands that they've almost lost their brand status, like Kleenex and Xerox. Xerox actually almost lost its brand and had to go to court because, kind of when you're the forerunner of a new product, that people will start to use your brand name as your product. So like Xerox photocopiers, Kleenex, facial tissues, Post-its. We use Post-its. Well, Post-its isn't the only brand anymore. Actually, it's 3M. But so things like that. Anyway, I digress. It's always fun. I have little tidbits of knowledge. So our lip balm, Simply Kissed, and the whole point of that is to have your lips be kissable. I created that, or actually I sent my mother, who's our chemist, on a mission. I said, I want you to create a lip balm that doesn't have 47 ingredients that I cannot pronounce. I want you to create a lip balm that if I put it on at night, I still want it there in the morning. I cannot stand waking up with dry, parched lips in the morning. And so she did it. And it doesn't last all day during the day because we lick our lips, we are talking, and anyway, but it's amazing. And we've had a couple people write blog posts about how over 3 or 4 days they've been able to take bleeding, cracked lips that you always want to pick at, and especially once it starts to peel, you're just like, and over a couple days it can heal that up. So that is awesome. Lots of new people joining. Oh, Hollow Addiction, I regret everything. If I'm remembering, you're the one with the acrylics. It's okay. It's okay, honey. You know what? We all do things knowing, especially going to the salon and thinking that, that everybody has our best interest, but especially I call them chop shop salons. Especially if, now granted, I don't want to be accused of lumping everybody in, but if they don't speak English and they can't answer your questions very well, most likely, and you can't ask them questions, there's going to potentially be problems, because when you say don't cut this live skin, the proximal fold of my eponychium, because they all want to cut it, and it's live skin, don't ever touch it with tweezers, nippers, whatever. But if they want to do that and they don't understand you saying, no, I don't want you to do that, that's a problem. So anyway, I digress. I do that a lot. I go down rabbit holes. I forget what I'm talking about because, anyway, you guys. Anybody who's not happy about being here, you are welcome to go away. You do not have to leave an opinion that you are not happy being here. How do I feel about vitamin E and nail oil? By the way, this was an oil given to me. I'm a Bliss baby. Oh, are you a baby Blissette? Which means that you combine Sweet Baby by Donna and Bliss Kiss. It was so cool. I mean, when Donna and I did that little project together, we had one sale, and we created a limited edition bottle where we combined our logos, and we offered an empty bottle for people who liked combining our oils, because hers was thicker, mine's thinner, and for a lot of people, you just like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This one was just, this one was too much, not enough, just right. Anyway, so, okay, back to the question about vitamin E. We have vitamin E in our oil. Vitamin E is a very, 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 very thick oil. And so by itself, it's not going to penetrate into your nail plate. But I will tell you, if you get a burn from the stove or any kind of your curling iron, if you get a burn, I tell you, get a vitamin E capsule, pop that baby open with a needle, and just slather that on your burn and put a Band-Aid on it. I guarantee you by the next morning, you will have no blister and you will be very happy. The pain will be gone. It blows my mind every time I do it. What I'm finding, and I'm starting to see this more and more with indies who are coming out with their own cuticle oil, is that they're listing vitamin E as the first ingredient. I'm finding that very, very hard to believe. One, it's very expensive, especially if you're using it as your first ingredient. I don't think that anybody would like it, because if you think about when you pop a vitamin E capsule, it's very thick and sticky. It's almost more sticky than honey to me. Honey is a little bit more viscous, and so what that tells me is false ingredient labeling, which means when you create a product, and when you look at a product, you go to the grocery store, and if water is listed as the first ingredient, then that means that water is the primary ingredient, and it can have either a fair amount of the other ingredients, or it can have hardly anything, and water is the first ingredient. So I'm having trouble believing that people have vitamin E as their first ingredient. My guess is that they haven't done their ingredient list properly, which technically is, the beauty industry is fairly self-regulated, but people screw it up. And especially those people who start doing skincare, nail care, any of these things as a hobby, they don't look up all of the rules and how to be compliant in the beauty industry and create value, and the being truthful. I think that is it. And I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but I don't think that they know that there is a procedure and a proper way to do it. And truth in labeling is a huge deal with food, and it should be a huge deal with our beauty products as well. So, okay, y'all are asking me questions. I can see them coming, and he recently reposted some drop dead gorgeous healthy natural nails after a 3-day intense hydration. Her nails were gorgeous, but some people didn't get it. What defines healthy? That is such a great question. Healthy. They look pretty. They feel good. You're able to pick things up and they don't snap at you don't want to just look at them and have them break. So everybody's version of what is strong, what is healthy. The biggest thing in terms of nail health is you're gonna see that if you have good physical health. So if you're taking care of your body well, you're drinking lots of water, eating lots of fruits and vegetables, nice blend of proteins and carbohydrates. If you're doing that, you're going to create healthy nail cells. Now, if you have massive stress in your life, or if you if you have a health issue, all of these things are going to affect the health of your nails. And I have to tell you guys though that the biggest culprit is water and soap. Those are the most dangerous things to our nails. And so what that does is that strips the oil from our nail cells and from our skin too. Because I mean, just think about it. Even when you're making dinner and you just rinse your hands a bunch of times, and your skin just feels like sandpaper. It just, all of the moisture and the oils come out of your skin, and water has the capability of just rinsing away oil, and then we add soap on top of it. So that's what makes people feel like they don't have healthy nails, is because they're dry, brittle, and they break. So using a good quality jojoba wax ester based oil gets that moisture and hydration back into your nails, so that then when you whack them against a hard surface, they're going to bend and they're going to be flexible. And then that's when people are like, my nails are really, really healthy. In terms of our skin drying out from acetone, those kind of things, there's strategies that I have, like before you remove your polish, you want to slather your skin with an inexpensive kitchen oil. And what that does is it makes it so that it's very difficult for the acetone to dissolve, because acetone is a solvent. It dissolves things. So it's going to dissolve your polish. It's going to dissolve the oil in your skin and your nails. And so you just slather on a bunch of extra oil, and then the acetone can't take your actual body oil because it's so busy working on the rest of the oil. And I am getting warm. I closed the window so that y'all weren't hearing the lawnmower, and now I'm roasting. Okay, there's the rooster tail. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's a little bit better. Okay. How do you recommend to do the overnight treatment? I have directions for that on the website at nailcarehq.com. I just published that article 4 or 5 weeks ago, so you should be able to find it on the front page of how to do the overnight hydration treatment. But basically, in a nutshell, apply a whole bunch of nail oil, just like slather it, and then use our lotion stick or some other balm type of a lotion. You don't want anything that has water in it at all. You want something that's nice and buttery, has good oils, and our lotion stick has a little bit of beeswax and lanolin, and that helps create this water resistant barrier. And so you stick your hands in nitrile gloves or latex if you're not allergic to latex. That's a whole nother thing I could get into about nitrile and latex. Anyway, put those on overnight and wake up, and your hands and your nails the tips will potentially have turned transparent, which means that the oil will have traveled all the way through your nail plate, and your skin will feel like a baby's bum, so nice and soft. Okay, let's see. What's the difference between jojoba oil from the store and your Simply Pure nail oil? Excellent question. The difference is actually jojoba it's been labeled as an oil. It's not an oil at all. It's a wax ester, and it is derived from the jojoba plant. Comes as like a bean type of thing. I don't remember if they call it a berry or a cherry, but anyway, that doesn't matter. Anyway, since it's a wax ester and not an oil, it actually never goes rancid, which is very interesting to me. But what's interesting, and what Doug Schoon has taught me, is that we want to have this, well, if one thing is good, then we sort of had this thing of, well, if a little bit is good, then a lot is better, or I can't think of the right, anyway, lost my train of thought. But the difference is with Simply Pure is that it is a blend. It's a blend of oils, including jojoba wax ester. And the reason that we have it as the first ingredient is because under the microscope, jojoba looks almost identical to body oil. And when you see that under the microscope, it's almost freaky how how almost identical it is. And so since body oil and moisture can penetrate through the nail plate from the nail bed, jojoba actually can penetrate down the other direction. But what I found interesting, because my girlfriend and my mom tried this, and they went, after trying our oil, they went and they got just straight jojoba because they had run out. And so both came back to me in a couple weeks and they were like, yeah, it doesn't work the same. Why doesn't it work the same? Well, the only thing that I can surmise, and I'm sure somebody who's a scientist will tell me, because I am not a scientist. I don't claim to be. My mother, and not a chemist. My mother is. Doug Schoon is a chemist of 30 years, professional chemist. And so they have had this discussion over and over and over with my mother, trying for my simpler mind to understand how to take something as so complicated and simplify it so that I can actually spit it out of my mouth and have it make sense to you guys. So, okay, come back, Anna. Where did I go? Electron. So there has to be this positive, I don't know if some of you remember, but positive and negative electrons, and that they can either attract or repel. And so I have to, that's what both my mom and I were like going round and round of. It has to be something about the jojoba as it's starting to go in. It actually can help pull in other larger molecules of oil that would not normally get in without the jojoba helping to pull it. So anyway, so that's what makes it different. And honestly, when I first started this business, I didn't think it was anything special. And then within about a year of people and the before and after pictures happening over and over and over again, I was like, I think I'm really onto something here. And what's happened with the, oh gosh, thousands and thousands and thousands of customers who have done the 3-day Get Naked challenge, of having naked nails and putting our oil on for 3 days, of just the massive change that they've seen in their nails in 3 days, and then jumping to a couple months later, and it's just transformational. It's cool. That's why I love my job. Okay. What is the right way to file your nails? Good one. I answered this in the last live, but I'm happy to do it again. So this was very, very exciting news for me when Doug Schoon finally got his electron microscope out, because this whole thing of like the last 5 years, everybody's going, you can only file one direction. If you don't file one direction and you do the seesaw, you're going to shred your nails, you're going to destroy them. Wrong. And he proved it wrong. What he did was he took photographs of, actually didn't take photographs, which is what's bumming me out. But he looked at nails that had been seesawed back and forth, and nails that were filed one direction, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and surprisingly, no difference. So that made me very, very happy, because I've just been a seesawer my entire life. So doesn't matter. And what file is better, it doesn't matter, whichever one makes you happy. The only thing that you do, the only file that you need to stay away from is the one that's labeled as 100 grit. So let me explain grit to you. So if you take a 1-inch square and you put 100 grains of sand in it, then it's going to be considered very coarse. Now if you take that same square and you put in 250 or 240 grains of sand, which is another type of file, 240 grains or grit, then it's going to be a finer. And if you get out to 400, 600 grains that fit into that same space, it's going to be even finer. So the higher the number, the finer. It gets confusing, but that's how I was able to remember, of little grains of sand. So you don't ever want to use a 100, because those grains of sand are way too big and they will shred the tips of your nails. That file is specifically for filing down the hard surface of acrylic nail enhancements, and that is the only time it should be used. So hope that helps. Shellbell Nails says, my husband has always had bad toenails. We've tried every medication, prescription, and over the counter. Do you think your oil would help even a little bit? They're very brittle and crusty. This is one of the things that I'm working on for the next 6 months. I am at the point, I've tried so many different things. My doctor recommended Vicks Vapor Rub. And I was like, really? You've got to be kidding me. How is that possibly going to help? It's got petroleum. It's got Vaseline in it. How is that going to actually penetrate the nail plate? It can't. But what can, some other information that I came upon was trying Listerine. Soaking your nail in Listerine, because it's an antibacterial. It kills the bacteria that's in your mouth, and so I am experimenting with that. The challenge is that you have to soak for anywhere from 15, 30, 45 minutes every day, and you're probably not going to see the results for 4 to 6 months, because I know based on past history that my big toenail takes an entire year to replace itself. Talk about growing slow. So I will keep you guys up to date about it, but when I asked Doug Schoon about nail fungus, he said it's a expletive. It's hard to get rid of. Very, very, very hard. So it's kind of like whoever actually figures it out is going to make a killing, because when you find something that actually works, it's really, really exciting. Again, life-changing. So I would recommend trying that. The challenge is, so the first day I tried it, I just dipped the ball of my foot and my toes in the Listerine, and just kind of like when you use Listerine in your mouth and it makes it burn, made my foot burn for like a couple of hours. I'm like, yeah, I got to figure out a different strategy. So right now I'm just putting a cotton ball soaked in it and sitting on top of the nail for quite a long time. So I'll get back to you guys on whether this works. It's such a pain, but I live in the Pacific Northwest. I am in closed-toed shoes most of the year, and so it's like I'm fighting a vicious battle. Okay, is it okay to use straight jojoba oil from the store on your nails? Yeah. It just won't work as well as our oil, but absolutely, it's really, really good. Any recommendations for ridges? Yes, I love it when this question comes up every single time. Okay, because everybody wants to get rid of their ridges. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. The reason is because your ridges are the thickest part of your nail plate. It's the grooves in between that are thinner. So I like this analogy of if you've got a mountain here and you've got another mountain here and you've got a valley in between, which of the valley or the mountain has more dirt? And of course, it's a simple answer. So the ridges have more layers, and it is actually, I'm sorry that the words are all over my nails. I'm working on props that like big things so you guys can actually see it. But there's small little pieces of portions of your nail matrix back here where the cells grow, that are not functioning at 100% capacity. And so what happens is it creates thinner nail cells. So it's actually the grooves. So rather than calling it a ridge filling base coat, it should be called a groove filling base coat, because that's really what we want. We want to fill in those grooves, make a nice smooth surface so that then when we put our color on, it doesn't look all wavy, wonky. So I have been using your she says 5-layer method for polish for about 2 to 3 years now, and have never had any issues. Here lately my polish is starting to peel the whole entire 5 layers. What could be going on? Hmm. Hmm. My guess is that your nails are not wet, because that will affect, if your nails are wet before you put polish on, that will affect adhesion. Um, and my guess would also be that you're making sure that you wipe the oil off of your nail plate with rubbing alcohol and a lint-free pad before you even start your manicure. That removes surface oil and dust. And then I use a Q-tip on the underside with rubbing alcohol as well before I start wrapping the base coat. Um, the only other thing I can think right now is that your body chemistry has changed some, and that it's possible your nails are oilier. It's possible that, oh gosh, there's so many things. I could just like, yeah. My guess would be that I would need to, I have a list of about 15, 18 questions that if you wanted to email me, I could ask you those questions and I may be able to help you better. I constantly always have my toenails painted. When you say let them breathing is bad, what should I do then if I have white spots on my toenails? It looks like it needs to breathe rather than having them painted 24/7. So Megan, great question. First of all, your nails are dead, and they don't have lungs. So it is physically impossible for your nails to breathe. I don't know where the heck that came from. I guess they think that putting nail polish on dead cells is suffocating something that's dead. I don't get it. And maybe that's just because people think that their nails are alive, and they're not. They're only alive to the point of when they go past your cuticle line, the proximal fold of your eponychium. That is the only time that it's live. And as soon as it reaches past that, is that those cells are dead. And the only reason that they look alive, we have weird perceptions of our body parts and things, because we all know our hair is dead, but I don't know why we don't transfer that to our nails are also dead. So there is no letting them breathe. It's actually better for your nails to have them polished almost all the time. But it depends on what kind of white spots are on your toenails. If they look like, if you've seen this with a lot of people, if they look like little sort of horizontal little white spots, those are actually nail bruises. So there's, and you guys will all tell me your grandmothers have fun stories of this is how many husbands you're gonna have or whatever. Those are basically what happened, is that back here when the in the nail matrix, when those nail cells were being created, they since you banged your hand against something, and those cells were compromised, and they basically don't turn transparent. They stay white, because as the cells are being created, they're actually white, and then when they die, they turn clear. And so that is, and so the reason it's clear is because it's got this nice blend of oils and moisture coming from your nail plate, from your nail bed, and so that's why it looks clear. But when you've bruised it and it doesn't turn clear, then it stays white, and so you've just got this little white bruise that then grows out. That's all it is. But if the white spots on your, so if the white spots on your toenails are like that, then it just means you bang into things with your toes. But if they are more, I think it's called, I don't say this word very much, it's onycholysis. I think I might be saying it wrong. I know what it looks like when I read it. Anyway, that just means white spots. It can be caused by the drying effect of acetone, especially if you're using gel and you're having to sit in and like wrap your toes in acetone for a long time, that can cause those white spots, and then that could help be reversed with a good nail oil. If it's related to a fungus, that's what I was talking about before. That's way different thing. So, oh, you guys are so sweet. I love the little hearts. They just make me happy. Okay. Somebody says, Yolandita says, love the oil. Can feel the texture difference. Half of my nail is smooth. The other half is completely damaged, but it's getting better. Yay! Love to hear that. So Megan, what should I do? Just let them breathe or keep painting them? Sorry, I keep moving because the text is white and I can see it on my purple shirt better. So Megan, I'm hoping I answered your question earlier and this was just the second part of your question. If not, ask me again. Nails on Fleek, hey. You ever thought about making peppermint oil for the winter season? No. Here's why. So our seasonals, when we came up with crisp, and I wanted, obviously then I had to do a fragrance free because I knew that fragrances are issues for a lot of people. But I really, really wanted some other fragrances of my oil, and so we started doing the seasonal ones. So I came out with a summer blend, and then I wanted a winter blend. And I wanted it to smell like you've walked into a room and there is a fresh cut Christmas tree in your living room and there is hot citrus mulled cider on the stove, simmering on the stove. That's what I wanted it to smell like. So we get pretty darn close. So that is why I don't, and the reason that we don't have a lot of different fragrances like a lot of people who are small independents do is because we have such a large volume with our main crisp and our fragrance free that we have filling machines that we've purchased to do those, so that we're able to crank out the volume that you guys are creating. But I've never given up on the love of having seasonal fragrances, and those are filled by hand. So way back when I first started, and I bought my first 100 nail oil pens. They look like this. They come with the brush part. The brush part is not there, and so I literally took a squeeze bottle and I was squeezing in and dripping in that oil. And so that's how most people are doing it, is it gets filled by hand. Because most people are not able to afford a dedicated machine for each one of these. So I was filling them by hand, and the difference between not enough and too much is 3 drops. So to get it just perfect every single time is very difficult. Because even though we have machines, it's still machine done by hand. So the machine dispenses the right amount, but even that can be persnickety depending on the weather. If it's colder, it's going to behave differently than when it's warmer. Anyway, so seasonals still filled by hand, which is why we only offer them for that season. So we have summer, we have autumn, and I resisted autumn. I really, really resisted it because I don't like smelling like pumpkins and I don't like smelling like cinnamon. And so, but my team was just like, Anna, you got to do this. This is the only season that we have nothing for. So I finally spent a lot of weeks. And for me, it's hard because I'm not a perfumer. I'm not somebody who specializes in blending the base notes, medium notes, and top notes and making perfumes and stuff. So, and I never was happy with just, okay, I'm gonna go to a supply website that has all of these different fragrance oils and I'm just gonna pick one. It just, none of them worked for me. I needed, so I ended up blending for winter. It was like 5 or 6 different oils, and it takes a while to get all that. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm done. I've got winter, I've got summer. Summer smells like, pina coladas. I love pina coladas. So that was why I wanted that one. Autumn smells like apple pie a la mode. So apple pie drizzling with vanilla ice cream. Love it. Thank you, team, for making us do that. And then pink sugar has become our, that is the one where I don't mix it. A lot of different companies have it, but they don't have, obviously, our oil, but it's so, so popular. In fact, it was Sweet Baby by Donna. She carries pink sugar, and it was her best seller. And she's like, Anna, you have to carry pink sugar. And I was like, okay, fine. And so then when I got it, I was like, really? Really? Because it smells like really, really sweet cotton candy. And I like red wine. I like deep, deep, rich flavors that a lot of people would not like. So anyway, I don't like pink sugar, but oh my gosh, you guys love it. And that makes me happy. Because if you guys are happy, that's what makes me happy. And so I gratefully, and you know, if it continues to grow and you guys are creating that demand, then I will buy a filling machine for it. So we just have to have enough demand to offset the expense of that filling machine. So that was my long-winded way around do we carry peppermint for winter. But we are working on a mint flavor for our lip balm. That is a very highly requested flavor, and so we're gonna start getting into the flavors. Right now it has no flavor at all. Anyway, I would like it to have a little bit of a pink tint too, but that's a whole nother story. Does combining Bliss Kiss and Sweet Baby by Donna affect your amazing oil? Nope. No. And her oil makes it a little bit thicker. And you know, Donna lives in Texas, so she's got dry skin all the time. I live in the Pacific Northwest, got a pretty good dose of humidity up here. I don't have the same issues with dry skin. So a lot of people, it just depends. And then there's other people who like other small indies and they love their oil. I'm fine with that. I'm totally good with that. If you love it, if it works for you, your nails are growing, they're not breaking as much anymore, do what you need to do to be happy. That's where I feel like the education that I'm giving you guys is far more important. So, okay, moving on. Vitamin E for burns, great idea. Yes, it is. You're gonna love it. Yeah. So Hollow Addiction says, I went to Sally's today and tried to look for good nail oil, but none of them had jojoba in the ingredients. Isn't that interesting? I know. And you want to know why? Jojoba is incredibly expensive because it's not an oil. It's a wax ester. So it's very, very, very expensive, which is why a lot of companies don't use it. They want they want to be able to have a certain profit margin, a certain markup. And so they're going to use less expensive oils like almond oil and apricot oil, and they just don't work as well. So they're not bad oils, they just don't work as well. Oh, when will Sweet Baby by Donna be back? I'm running out. Sorry for blocking off my face from the light. Donna she got a promotion, and she works at a hospital and loves her job, and she has 2 little ones, and her business, especially when we teamed up, her business, when we teamed up for the one sale, we did a January sale together, and that was the Baby Bliss, and it just about killed her because she also has lupus and she has a lot of issues with her wrists, and so doing the twisting of all the products and of all the containers and everything was really, really hurting her hands. And so she's cut way, way back because of, one, not having enough time with her job, and she having 2 little ones, and she was just feeling like she was missing out on her family life as much. And so I fully support. Family comes first. And so, yeah, so we're really good friends. So, and make sure that I don't know if she has an email list, but make sure at least you're following her on Instagram. She's Sweet Baby by Donna. And then she'll let you know when she does restock, which is probably only a couple of times per year. So anyway, hello from Germany. Hello from the Pacific Northwest in the United States. I wear green polish. I do. I'm experimenting with all the new colors. You know what shocked me was when I finally wore black, because I always thought that black went with goth. And when I wore black, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be brave for Halloween, I'm going to wear black. And I did all of these little neon spooky eyes, nail art on it. Oh my God, they were so cute. Anyway, it was the first time I wore black, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I really like it. But black and red. I think black is worse, though. Don't get it on your skin, because it's a freaking nightmare to get it out of your skin. You can just like clean up with acetone and a makeup brush all you want, but it just like won't leave. So if you're gonna do black, you need to be really, really, really experienced. You need to practice. You're doing your manicures a lot. And gosh, this is another one of those things I'm gonna have to make a prop for. Okay, so I'm gonna show you is when you're doing your polish, a lot of people think that, oh, I should hold the brush up here and I should just stroke, stroke, stroke like this doing my polish, and I'm going to work about that fast. Okay? The truth is, as long as it's not a quick dry polish, you actually have a fair amount of working time. And so what you want to do, let me see if I can do this against my skin. You want to start where the brush is a little bit back here before your cuticle line, and you're going to want to shove it back towards your cuticle line. And look at how I'm holding that brush. You notice that it's almost horizontal to my nail. What you want to do, and then the other thing is you're going to do this. You're going to fan out that brush. See how it fans out this way? You can get it really, really fanned out. So that's what you're going to do. One, you're going to hold that brush at a different angle, and you're going to fan that out. You're going to start here. You're going to push back just a smidge. Don't touch your skin. And then you're going to fan, push, 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 and pull out. So push, push down and pull out. And you should be able to do one stroke here, and then, sorry you guys can't see this, one stroke on the side, one stroke on the other side, and maybe one stroke through the middle to smooth that out. So imagine being able to do that in 4 strokes. And I know you guys see that with the really, really big bloggers who do lots of videos. Watch them. Watch how slow they actually do that beginning process of that first layer of polish, of how slowly they do it, and like just working their way up and then pulling out, so they have a lot of control. And the other thing is when a lot of beginners too, they have trouble with, they will pull the bottle, oh, there we go. Oh my God, you guys, I'm down to 2 minutes. Pull the bottle out, and then they start applying the polish. No, you need to learn based on your nail length. I actually wipe one of the sides. So I will wipe one side, and then I will touch, if I've got shorter nails, I will touch it to the inside of the neck and make sure that I'm taking less polish. And that way you won't have this polish dripping down the whole column of the brush handle here, and you won't have it globbing all over your fingernails, making a big bloody mess. So I hope that helps. You guys, I have 1 minute and 20 seconds. Oh my God. I know there's a whole bunch of you that I've missed. I'm so sorry. This is a good one. Okay, 1 minute. Read on the website, Simply Pure helps soften the tight C curve. What will it do to my flatter nails? You'll be fine. They'll be just fine. It really helps with that plasticizing of a tight C curve. But if you have flatter nails, they should be just fine. Okay, 46 seconds. Okay. Where are you right now? I'm just curious. If you're not asking if I'm in the Pacific Northwest, then I am in my master bedroom. And right there is my spa room. And it's filled with tropical plants, and it just makes me happy. I would give you a tour, but It's too late. Got 21 seconds. Okay. Overnight treatment. Do you have to take off the polish? Yes, you do. 14 seconds. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys because I got cut off early last time. But email me if you have any questions.
Hey, it's Anna. I've written over 70 nail care articles that you can find at nailcarehq.com. And if you're looking for products that will help you have longer, stronger nails, visit myblisskiss.com. Be sure to push the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get alerted when I publish more videos. This is Anna, signing off and sending you bliss.